Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bank Corp South. Well, the Golden Eagles just one game this week. They played their travel partner, Louisiana Tech, on Saturday night over in Ruston, Louisiana. So just the one game for the Eagles before they head back on the road this week, traveling to FAU and to FIU. But, Doc, only one game for the Golden Eagles this past week. That's a little bit unusual, I guess, but how is that something you like? Would you rather have a two-game week, or does that one-game week barely make that much difference?
Well, you know, John, in this league, you're always going to have a bye week, and, you know, in most leagues, that's all you have. In this league, you have two. We've had it all kinds of ways. We've had it the very first week of the season in conference, and this year, I actually think it was a good time to have it right in the middle almost, because with the lack of numbers, a lot of our players are playing a lot of minutes, and we started getting banged up a little bit, especially Kevin Holland and Tyree. So they were able to get a couple extra days of rest. We actually gave Sunday and Monday off, and then came back and started back to work on Tuesday, and really, you know, did not really go that hard even on Tuesday. So it was a time that we were able to get some guys healthy. And I think in the long run, it's going to be what's best for us. Now we don't have another one until the very last week of the season, which is not really probably the time that you would like to have it. But at the same time, you know, with these numbers, it may be a good time if, you know, if we can continue to win a few ball games and get in that tournament, at least we'll be able to go have a last game at home and then go into the tournament a little bit more fresh than we normally would.
I know you talked early in the season that you hope to be able to play 9 or 10 guys. It really hadn't worked out that way. And when you get towards the end of the season, you've got guys playing 35, 36, 37 minutes, despite the fact they're 20-year-old kids. It still wears on them a little bit.
Well, it's funny, you know, it's something we always talk about. These guys actually all think they want to make a living at this game, and, you know, they're not even a quarter way through an NBA season. The wear and tear on kids nowadays, I think, is more than ever because they don't play. You know, back in the day, every day in the summertime, you knew they was going to go out in the park or they was going to find a gym, or in the fall and the spring. But nowadays, kids don't play basketball. They may get in the gym and work on a few things individually, but the lack of just getting out and playing is something that I think is a big reason why a lot of guys are getting hurt, because there is the wear and tear. So one of the things that we've had to do, obviously, is cut back on practice a lot, and we've done that. So, you know, it's to the point now, though, we got to get some things cleaned up defensively, and, you know, that's going to take a little bit more time. So we'll be able to do that, maybe change up a little bit Monday and Tuesday, but really Wednesday we won't be able to have a practice day before we go to Florida.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the first half of the game at Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech is one of those teams whose record's probably not indicative of how good they are. They've got a good young basketball team, and early on the two teams kind of trading things back and forth, but boy, they got red hot from the three-point line and kind of put some distance between them and the Golden Eagles.
Well, it was kind of like a game we played earlier this year at South Alabama. The game was over in the first 5 minutes of the game, and if you still thought you had a chance, then it was over in the first 10 minutes of the game. I really like Louisiana Tech's team. They've had a couple of injuries that I think have really helped their team. They was probably trying to play too many guys, but with the Harris kid leaving the program and Bracey, you know, not playing, they've really shortened their rotation. They've got some really, really good young players, as you mentioned, that I think for the next 3 or 4 years they're going to be a team that everybody's going to be trying to beat to get to that top. So, you know, give them credit, no question about it. They did make shots. I think they made 11. You know, Boykins, I think, was 6 for 6 the first half, made 11 threes the first half. But defensively, that was probably as bad as we have played as far as what we want to try to do from the get-go. Didn't rotate out of a strong side situation to begin the game, and then the next play we don't come together on a switch and they stop and hit a three, and then they get an offensive rebound and hit a three. We just was not the sharp team that we have been at home, and we've got to get that corrected.
I know you said after the game on the radio too, you're a little disappointed that maybe a quicker shot for the team instead of running the offense and getting the good shot that you need. Sometimes a quick shot, which really played into what Louisiana Tech wanted to do.
Well, this is a basketball team that really is still. In the lack of maybe young also, and don't really know how to play the game of basketball. It's kind of like I always tell them, you can play the game of checkers and you can be that guy that's really aggressive, and that guy that's sitting back there is going to take all your checkers. Well, it's the same way. We'd had a good week. We've shot the ball extremely well at home. We scored a lot of points, but you can't take the game that you play at home on the road. And I think we thought that we could go over there and outscore those people. And, when you look back on it, 65 to 70 points on the road should give you a chance in the last 5 minutes to have a chance. Well, that's not what we did. They got off to a great start. We made some shots early, but you're not going to keep that pace. And our guys forgot that it's the other end. And the thing that I kept trying to tell them during the game at halftime is that you win the ball games on the road by putting the other team on defense. You don't do it by outscoring people. And we felt like that we could go in there and outscore them. And hopefully that's a good lesson that we've learned, and understand that when you go on the road, it's a totally different game than when you play at home. And until we realize that and make that adjustment and be willing to make that change, we're going to continue to struggle on the road. We've got to win the games on the defensive end on the road and get to the last 5 minutes and have a chance. And that's how you do it on the road.
Well, it was Southern Miss and Louisiana Tech on Saturday night in Ruston, Louisiana at the Thomas Assembly Center. Let's go back and take a look at the highlights. And this crowd will get into it, so you cannot afford to let Louisiana Tech get off to a good start. Right wing three by McGee, and he drilled it. Dominic McGee with a three. They left him open. McGee faking, dribbling, gives it to Davis, who gives it up left corner to Griffin. Griffin crossover, drives the baseline, a little high arcing shot up and in. Griffin going to get a high pick from Davis. Griffin back left wing, Holland. He drives the baseline, goes up with a shot inside and banked it in. And now tries to drive, throws it up before the shot clock goes off. Didn't get it to go. Rebound Edwards, and he got a bucket. Drive the baseline, kick it out to Edwards, down to the corner. Hampton will shoot a three. Bingo. Penny Hampton's got a couple of threes. Holland against that Louisiana Tech defense. They're man-to-man. They've been tough. Eagles get it inside to Davis. Eddie to the bucket, lays it up and in. Eddie Davis gets his first bucket. Comes off a pick and gives it to Griffin. Top of the bubble. Right side up high to Holland. Gets a pick from Davis. Back to Griffin. Griffin a three off the right side. Bingo. Tyree Griffin with a three. Drives, feeds the baseline to Edwards, who's cut off. In traffic, goes up with a fall away and hit it. A 7-0 run. Griffin is dribbling it around out front. Now he fakes. Now he dribbles. Pulls up at the foul line. Leans in. Short jumper good by Griffin. Edwards the rebound for the Eagles. Edwards in the front court, off to Richardson. He drives the baseline, short jumper good off the glass for D'Angelo Richardson. He gives it right side, and a steal by Kevin Holland. Holland took it away from Boykins, and Holland drives inside and lays it up and in with two guys hanging on him. Driving through the lane, leaves it with Hampton. Hampton to Gill. Gill back to Drain. Here's a three right side. Bingo. Now, Drain wasn't hitting anything early, but he's knocked down a couple of threes here late. So we near the 2-minute mark. Gill to Drain, open for a three out front. He'll shoot it and hit it. Bingo. Drain with 3 threes.
Hey Hey basketball fans, the 2018 Conference USA Basketball Championship presented by Baylor Scott & White Sports Performance Center at the Star is coming to Frisco, Texas. 24 men's and women's basketball teams playing 22 games will take place at Ford Center at the Star, headquarters to the Dallas Cowboys. Join us for 4 days of exciting hoops March 7th through the 10th with CUSA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. For tickets and more information, go to conferenceusa.com. You won't want to miss Hoops at the Star this March.
When you're born to soar, you're destined to rise above. Curiosity leads to exhilarating discoveries. Challenges become opportunities. And passions become filled with purpose. The world looks different from above. The University of Southern Mississippi, where eagles soar.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living.
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
Singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
And so that's the way it went on Saturday night over in Ruston, Louisiana at the Thomas Assembly Center, the Golden Eagles and Louisiana Tech. Tech will come back now to Hattiesburg for the final regular season game of the season. Our feature this week is Golden Eagle Junior Penny Hampton out of Jackson, Mississippi. And Doc, here's a young man who played at Jackson Jim Hill High School, played down at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, and a guy who I know you've counted on this year, and he's gotten a little bit better as the year's gone along.
Well, you know, Penny came to us 2 years ago when we didn't have any scholarships and was willing to pay his own way. And what a terrific person. I mean, he's a guy that belongs on any team in the country. You know, sitting out, you probably don't get the attention that you need to get. But he is a player that probably of all the guys we have has not allowed playing time to affect his attitude and has come to work each and every day. And is going to get to play more and more each time we go out. I saw a quote that tells you all about Penny. You know, the guys on the bench, they get to decide what type of attitude they have. They're either going to be a good teammate or they're going to be a negative teammate. Well, he is definitely a positive teammate. And, you know, besides just being a great basketball player and a great teammate, he is a person that you never have to worry about taking care of business off the court with his classwork, and he is just a treat to be around. Doesn't say much, plays hard each and every day, and takes care of his business in the classroom. Pretty much a coach's dream right there, John.
Yeah, he told me a couple of times as we've sit around and visited that it's his responsibility to do the things to make the coach want to play him. It's not the fact that the coach ought to play him. He says, I got to prove to him that I can go out there and help the team. Well,
again, he was a player that, you know, I'm trying to play on the perimeter that probably was given a lot of freedom, and it has been an adjustment for him. The thing that he could be is because he plays so hard and he's long, is a tremendous defensive player, and hopefully he will take that to another level, because one thing about it, when Penny's on the court, you know that he's on the court for the right reason, and that's to try to help your team win. There's no selfishness about him at all, and so there's a place for him, and I'm very, very happy that he's a part of this basketball program, and he's been very positive from the day one he's been here.
Interesting young man to sit down and visit with, as we did just the other day. So let's spend a few minutes and meet up close and personal Golden Eagle Jr. Anthony Penny Hampton.
Coming to the Miss, I want to come here because still in Mississippi, been in Mississippi my whole life. You know, I liked all the Mississippi schools or whatever, and come from Jim Hill to Gulf Coast, like being around, familiar with the area. I had family going to USM too, then family back in Jackson, around Holmes County area, so being in Southern Miss was a big thing for him. I liked it. The biggest adjustment coming from junior college to Division I basketball, I'd say, was the pace of the game, how everything's organized, you know. It's better from every standpoint, you know, because in JUCO, you basically just practicing playing ball, and here, you know, you got more film sessions, more skill work and a lot of things, but JUCO basketball is still a good place to play, but Division I basketball is just a bigger step up, and I think it gets you better.
Hampton's got it. He drives the baseline. Oh, and he dunked it in. Oh, he went way up and dunked it in.
Basketball really always been my sport. You know, I used to watch it, everything. All my family played and everything. But I say, like in middle school, that's when I got serious with it. And I played football in middle school, but I knew that wasn't for me. And I ran track and field in high school as well. But basketball just stuck with me. Penny it was Lil Penny. Started out one of my coaches in City League. He's like my uncle, and named Angelo Brodus. He started calling me Lil Penny. The name just stuck with me. But my dad, my dad and my grandmother, they like Anthony Hardaway. So when I was younger, it was Anthony. But Penny just stuck with me. A lot of people call me Ant too as well. It's Anthony, not Anthony. So they think when I say Ant or Penny, it's Anthony, but it's really Anthony. So. What I like about the game of basketball is keeps you in shape, keeps you motivated, you can have good times, you can have bad times. I like how it can keep your mind off everything that you're going through. I like how it can just keep me focused with the world around me, because I know like if I don't do good in everything else, I can always rely on basketball and keep me focused, because I know if I want to play basketball, I have to stay focused with everything around me. So basketball just keep me in tune. Right now at Southern Miss, I'm waging in a general business, and once I'm done with Southern Miss, I would like to have my own business. I know a lot of people say they want to have their own business someday, but I got a passion for dogs, pit bulls to be exact, so I want my own kennel. I want my own sports shop. Then I want to help kids be able to get involved with sports, either basketball. Like I said, I tried football, but I knew that wasn't my sport, so help other kids that get involved with sports, either with a gym or coaching and stuff like that. The thing I like about this team, I like it's like a brotherhood. All them boys like my brother, from the coaches and everybody. I like that we compete. We try to make each other better. We want to see everybody win. And I know that if everything fall down, we still gonna have each other back. So I just like our camaraderie of the team this year. I like how everybody together, like how everybody's mindset is, and everybody wants the same thing, and that's to win. Whether we lose, we still want to win and compete every night. To wear the black and gold, it means a lot. Representing Mississippi, representing everybody around Hattiesburg area, you know, the down south area, representing for my family, my friends, everybody. So it feels good to just go out there and compete and just make everybody proud, make myself proud, make my team proud, and coaches as well.
Hey Southern Miss fans, it's Toby Barker, Mayor of Hattiesburg. Mickey Spagnola once wrote, "If you're going to war and you get to choose first, choose Southern Mississippi. Always choose Southern Mississippi. Don't fight Southern Mississippi, because no matter how hard you fight, those folks will fight harder." His words capture the character of our institution and our city. We here in Hattiesburg are writing a new story, one where we rise to our challenges with great excitement, one where we push our city to reach its potential, and most importantly, one where there's real partnership between the University of Southern Mississippi and the city of Hattiesburg. Southern Miss is vital to our city's success, from the quality of life it provides through athletics and the arts to the talent it cultivates in the classroom. We share a common destiny. Hattiesburg is proud to be Mississippi's college city, and we hope as we go forward you'll join us in supporting our Golden Eagles this season as they go to the top.
When you're born to soar, you're destined to rise above. Curiosity leads to exhilarating discoveries. Challenges become opportunities. And passions become filled with purpose. The world looks different from above. The University of Southern Mississippi, where eagles soar.
And we're back on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. Well, the Golden Eagles now head to the road. They make the Florida swing. They'll be at FIU and FAU. And Doc, these are always two tough ones. Another long trip for the Golden Eagles to head down there and play these two teams. And both of those teams have been a little bit like the Golden Eagles. They had some good runs and they struggled a little bit at times, but two tough ones on the road at FIU and FAU.
Well, first of all, it's a tough trip. We'll leave out of here Wednesday morning about 6 o'clock in the morning and have to practice in their recreation center because, like ourselves, they don't have a practice facility and they've got so much going on. So we'll get down there in the afternoon and go practice. You know, it's two teams. It's funny, on Saturday, Florida Atlantic won on a half-court shot, and Florida International got beat at North Texas with a three-pointer at the buzzer. So both of those teams have played really good basketball. And, you know, Florida International just a few weeks ago lost in overtime to Middle Tennessee with every opportunity to win. They've really got two or three guys that are really playing well. You know, some games got 20 points, or two guys with 20 and one with 30. So they've got three guys that we're going to have to do a good job with on Thursday. And then, you know, Mike up at Florida Atlantic has always done a good job. And so going up there again on Saturday will be a difficult challenge. And you know, it's two games that if you go in there, you're going in there with the idea that, again, like all road games, play the way that you got to play to win on the road, and hopefully you'll have a chance. But it's going to be a challenge. Both teams are playing well. I think both teams, one team maybe has won 4 games, the other one's won 3 in the league. So it's going to be a tough road trip, and but all road trips are, and we'll see what happens Thursday.
Talk a little bit about, we'll talk a little bit about the FIU and those guys, the results of those games next week. But talk a little bit about recruiting. I know you can't talk specifically about individuals, but what you're looking for, what you can do as you go out in recruiting, and what the response has been as you've been out there on the road.
Well, you know, now that we've had a little bit of success and we're able to get to 12 scholarships next year, I think the people in the state are starting to take notice a little bit. The kids, we signed Gabe Watson out of Jackson earlier this year, that is having a terrific year. That, you know, has a name in that area that kids want to play with because he again is a great person besides being a good player and wants to win. And so I think the perception is getting back to where we need it to be. You know, the last home game, we had a couple of kids that came in for the game, and not that we had a great crowd, but we had a better crowd, and hopefully that will roll over because kids want to play in front of people. So hopefully, you know, we could have some success this week, and then we'll have some more kids come in because we get 4 straight home games. And so we'll have some kids that come in and look at our program and spend some time with our players, because I really believe this. If we can get them to campus, Southern Miss has so much to offer. It's a great place to go to school. It's a friendly place to go to school. It's a safe place to go to school. And we got great teammates. And so that's what you're looking for as a parent. Players are looking for what opportunity is it to play. So we are getting a better reception, and hopefully that will continue.
Real quick, too, talk about practice. I know you've always said you've got to have guys out there, some bodies to practice against. That has not always been the case since you've been here. Now you've got some guys sitting out. You're able to go out there and really have practices 5-on-5, where that wasn't always the case in your early years here.
Well, you know, I was kind of concerned going into the Louisiana Tech game because on Tuesday and Wednesday we do a lot of playing in 3-minute segments, and our black team is usually the team that's the guys that start, and the gold team is the team that that you know, is our second team. So, and bottom line, I may be playing the wrong guys because Tuesday and Wednesday with Bobin and with Leonard, they actually on the 10-minute segments they actually beat the black team, and so you know that frustrates you on Tuesday and Wednesday. But when you step back after practice, you think, wow, you know, with what we got coming back with the addition of Bobin and Leonard, maybe some good things are fixing to happen.
All right, Doc, best of luck on the trip down to Florida, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, appreciate it, John.
All right, Coach Doc Sadler and the Golden Eagles at FIU and FAU this weekend, a couple of road games in Conference USA. That'll do it. Don't forget Monday night, we're at Georgia Blue in Hattiesburg for the Golden Eagle Hotline with Coach Doc Sadler. Come on by, visit with us, enjoy a great meal, and we'll talk a little Golden Eagle basketball. That'll do it. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time with another inside look into Golden Eagle basketball.
Hey basketball fans, the 2018 Conference USA Basketball Championship presented by Baylor Scott & White Sports Performance Center at the Star is coming to Frisco, Texas. 24 men's and women's basketball teams playing 22 games will take place at Ford Center at the Star, headquarters to the Dallas Cowboys. Join us for 4 days of exciting hoops March 7th through the 10th with CUSA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. For tickets and more information, go to conferenceusa.com. You won't want to miss Hoops at the Star this March.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, you got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living.
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
Singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
Hey Southern Miss fans, it's Toby Barker, mayor of Hattiesburg. Mickey Spagnola once wrote, if you're going to war and you get to choose first, choose Southern Mississippi. Always choose Southern Mississippi. Don't fight Southern Mississippi because no matter how hard you fight, those folks will fight harder. His words capture the character of our institution and our city. We here in Hattiesburg are writing a new story, one where we rise to our challenges with great excitement, one where we push our city to reach its potential, and most importantly, one where there's real partnership between the University of Southern Mississippi and the city of Hattiesburg. Southern Miss is vital to our city's success, from the quality of life it provides through athletics and the arts to the talent it cultivates in the classroom. We share a common destiny. Hattiesburg is proud to be Mississippi's college city, and we hope as we go forward you'll join us in supporting our Golden Eagles this season as they go to the top.